a light-hearted, action-packed, one-liner, Sadie-style film that is compared to John Wick, but it isn't, and that's a great thing. And that's why we need to chat about Nobody.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Bod Odenkirk plays Hutch, a guy that has an ordinary job, a family, he uses the boss, but there is something hiding inside of him, and that is a desire to do and be someone else. And unlike John Wick, he knows that that beast needs to come out. So eventually it does. He seeks trouble, unlike John Wick that is trying to stay away with it, and nobody knows who this guy is. Where John Wick, everybody has the legend of the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga. Hutch is no one. Nobody knows who the hell he is, and so he has issues to resolve with himself. He has been disappointed about the life that he has been living. The family he has built has provided him with joy, but he misses action, and so he goes out looking for that action, and lo and behold, he gets in trouble with the Russian mobsters who seek revenge. And unlike John Wick, Hutch is rusty. This guy hasn't seen action in years. He gets punched, kicked, stabbed, everything happens to him, even though he comes back on top. His relationship with his wife is strained, but the beast coming out actually gives him a chance to reconnect. And there's a lot of surprise cameos that also makes this film very different from John Wick. It is not serious, it's lighthearted, there's a lot of one-liners. The trailer will show you that, it's gritty, action-packed, and it is, but it is sparse. In fact, the action is placed in 3 or 4 spots and spread across the film, and most of the time it's Hutch trying to make peace with who he is and who he really needs to be in order to feel fulfilled in life. And that's how this film is completely different than John Wick, aside from a tiny plot point where the Russian mob is after him. And this is where things get very interesting. Aleksey Serebryakov plays Yulian Kuznetsov, a mobster, a gangster. He takes care of all of the Russian mobsters' money for a little bit, and he's the ultimate bad guy. This is a performance that will stand out in your head for a long time. A mobster that has absolute reign over his kingdom. He can do everything he wants. He's loud, obnoxious, and completely free. You can see how Aleksey Serebryakov definitely took on the role and said, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I think an extremely rich dude would. And man, this is an unhinged performance that, to be honest, to me, steals the entire show. This guy sings karaoke in a terrible way, crosses the street without looking, kills anybody at his mercy, and overall feels that he's untouchable. And when Hutch messes with him, he's gonna look for retribution, and it is glorious. And where the action comes in place is where Hutch actually doesn't hide and tries to confront the Russian mobsters, and that confrontation, the opposite forces clash a couple of times, and it is beautiful, it's glorious, it's so well directed. The director of this film is the same director of Hardcore Henry. Now, this is a Russian director that directed a movie that was all shot in first-person view, like a video game, and it was just amazing, but it was amazing because of the fact that that movie was shot in Russia, and filming and safety rules are very different there, so a lot of crazy things went on. So when you see the same kind of action being taken in a regular American style movie, it is a little bit scaled back. So don't expect long takes where you understand 100% that Hutch is the one doing the action and the punching and taking the hits. But at the same time, it is clean, it's beautifully shot, it is dynamic, and I have to be honest, there's 3 things that really make this film top-notch and also somewhat better than John Wick in its own style.
Everybody get to the basement.
What is happening?
Don't call 911.
So the first thing that will stand out to you is a fantastic soundtrack, recognizable songs that are used very well and accentuate the action. It makes things so more dynamic and the emotion really seeps through, and you're gonna love this soundtrack, and I'm actually gonna go and try to buy it right away. The second thing you'll notice is the editing. It's what makes the movie. It really is paced in such a way that your eye is tracking the action, and when there isn't any action, it's still so dynamic and powerful. It is a language on its own, and to me, the editing is what made the cherry on top of the beautiful sundae that this movie is. The third thing is some of the surprising cameos, and I'm not going to spoil them for you, but they are really refreshing, and you're seeing actors that you haven't seen in a while in an action film, having fun, enjoying the role, because again, this is not a gritty, dark world. This is a world where somebody gets shot and, they fly back a couple of meters, and when somebody can receive punishment back and forth, they stand up and they can keep on fighting. So definitely don't expect the real one-hit die, one-punch knockout style of John Wick. You will see fights that are a little bit elongated, but also characters that you understand probably can't make it with their fists, but make it out very well with weapons. And so those three things, the music, the editing, and the cameos, really make this film outstanding. And in my regards, it is almost like an 80s style film where you have one-liners, dialogue that it is more funny rather than serious, and a character that actually is more on the middle-aged, I need to do something with my life to feel alive again. So you're gonna enjoy a film that is different from John Wick, but in a very good way.
Who the fuck are you?
Me? I'm nobody.
Nobody is an entertaining action film without adding complications of an underground, seedy assassin's world. It's simple, it's enjoyable, you can turn off your brain, and perhaps for guys of my age or people that have given up something that they really love to try something else, you will feel somewhat related to this character that goes through a mundane loop that perhaps will never end, and you're starting to think, is this all to life? I miss my older self, and there's nothing wrong with trying to go and rediscover it, even though it comes with consequences. I know the film was left in perhaps of an open door to sequels, and we know in the modern world it is very difficult to have a film that is very successful without having people trying to do a sequel, but to be honest, it is self-contained, and I would be totally fine if this was just it. You can see Bod Odenkirk trained hard and created a physique, a style. He actually does a lot of the action, and it is a huge payoff. But to me, what steals the show is the villain, and this actor, Aleksey Serebryakov, is just amazing. I hope they put him in all movies now. I need to see more of this crazy, unhinged type of villain on screen more often. The pacing is fantastic, editing is top-notch, the music is memorable, and the cameos make this film really stand out from John Wick. I strongly suggest you check it out, and I would love to know what other films you would suggest about a character that has to reclaim who he used to be or who she used to be in order to feel fulfilled. I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Have an awesome day.